Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Reality Scoot Gamers review with your boy Ranger J 1999, and that hunk of burning love over there is Big K. Cashmere's joining us. Cashmere, how are you today?
We are doing just
We
fine.
are rocking and
Just
rolling as we get ready to review I was about to say Bad Batch,
bad.
but that would be wrong. Mandalorian season 3, episode 3, and the name of it is Cash.
The
The
Convert.
Convert. This is a good episode. Not a great episode, but it was good. It's a more of a setup kind of thing. But it does tie some things, some story plots. And I was watching Christian Harloff's review. I always watch Christian Harloff's reviews, and he had a thing where he felt like this felt like two different shows. I don't really get that sense, but I can see what he's talking about because a lot of people are saying like it felt like two different shows altogether. But I didn't really feel that way because I think talking about, and the reason I say this is that the beginning of the episode, we leave right off where we saw before, right? Where
Hmm.
Bo-Katan's like, hey, how you doing? Vandal's like, I'm good. See anything down there? No.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, there's nothing to see. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
so
it.
let's get out of here. So they head back to her planet, but when they do, they get attacked by a crap ton of Imperial TIE interceptors. Um, and they had this huge fight, great scene. I mean, really great action scene and
Yep.
ship battle scene. And you see Jin jump out of the ship and get to his ship, and they take care of those. But then they bomb her castle, which was really interesting. And then she goes after the bombers, and then there's a giant wave of interceptors
Yeah.
coming in. I'm like, uh-oh, and they get the hell out of Dodge. So that's one part of it. Really, this is two parts of it. When they hear it convert, we get to the second part of it. And I'm going to jump ahead to the end because they head to um the place where all the Mandalorians are, and they have the whole scene where Mando says, "I've been redeemed," and what the big guy says, "I don't believe you," blah blah blah. You're both apostates, and says, "I have proof." And they go in front of the armor, and the armorer says, "Yes, they are redeemed," and even tells Bo-Katan that because she has not removed her helmet and she was in the waters, she is redeemed. Even
She's
though
redeemed.
Bo-Katan says, "I don't, I'm not a follower of the creed." And but they make her part of
Yeah.
the what is it, the culvert? They call it the culvert, whatever they call their dwellings.
Yeah.
But they're she's part of the group because she hasn't removed her helmet and she's been redeemed,
Mhm.
and it was proved
And
that
they're all like congratulating her, like, "Hey, welcome! Welcome
yeah.
to the group. Welcome to our clan." And what is great? I don't know how they do this because she's wearing a mask. So there's
You,
no facial expression, but you just kind of the way she just tilts her
I
head and
know.
just moves. You kind of just see her being like, "Holy shit, what
What
the?"
was this? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because she's not a religious zealot. I mean, they can say that and do that all. We'll see what's going to happen with Bo-Katan. Her story's going to be interesting because at the end you see her staring at that mythosaur, the sign of the Mandalorians there is hanging
yeah,
on the wall, and she's just staring at it, and that's where the show ends. So conversion in the name of this episode speaks on Bo-Katan's conversion. So that's basically what happens with Bo-Katan, Mando, and the rest, and what kind of happens there. She does kind of neat things where because her castle was just bombed to hell and back by the Empire. And I
yeah.
said in before, I think it's going to be a big epic showdown between the Imperial Remnant as they start making their way
Hmm.
back. Because we're going to get to why I think that this is getting proven more and more. And Bo-Katan's been stealing from them and doing all kinds of stuff for them for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think that this is what this is leading into as they go for Mandalore. But the other thing of this, we have the scientist. He is
Well,
gone.
before we
Oh
go
yeah,
into
go
that,
for it. What are we going to do?
yeah, yeah, just one kind of two things. So when they're on their way back before the whole ship fight,
Yeah,
you know, Din gives his, this is the way, and she gives a sarcastically, this is the way. And then Grogu gives in babbles, this is the way. And I'm like, did he just say that? I actually had to rewind it.
did he
So I'm
say it?
like,
I didn't hear what he actually said.
you can't understand. He's like doing his cooing, but he's like, but he did the syllables, kind of he
Oh
cooed,
really?
this
I
is the
didn't
way.
notice that. I just heard him speak, and
I
then I wasn't sure what he was
Yeah,
saying.
and that's why I honestly went back. So I'm like, did he just? And like he didn't say it. Like I'm not,
Well,
but
yeah, but
he cooed the syllable
all right.
to it. Um, And then
I
the
didn't
other
catch
thing is,
that. Yeah, that was a good point. Good catch.
yeah, and then before they, with all these other tie defenders, you know, Bo points out that this is more than just a warlord like Moff Gideon was.
Yes.
You know, amount of tie defenders.
This
This is
is way
bigger
more.
than, yeah.
You know,
So
because Gideon, he's a moth, but I mean, you're talking a fleet admiral or higher to have that kind of that many ships. You know, especially
mhm.
TIE interceptors. We're not talking TIE fighters. We're talking TIE bombers and TIE interceptors. Those things
Yeah,
are, the cream of the crop when it comes to ships.
yeah, and the tie interceptors, that was Thrawn's baby,
But no,
if
his
I
was the
remember.
TIE Defender. That was
Tie
his
defender,
project.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So there
yes.
was two
Okay,
projects
yes,
the Empire was working on in the Rebels, and that was
yes,
his baby was the TIE Defenders, and then there was
yep,
Stardust, the Death Star. Those are
yes,
the two projects the Death Star were working on. Um, but it makes it interesting to see who's going to be the main antagonist for the Empire. I mean, Gideon may play a part, but I still have this sneaky suspicion because we know that Ahsoka series is coming. We know Thrawn's going to be a part of it.
hmm
Is Thrawn going to be the baddie that's trying to bring the Imperial Remnant back, and they're going to have this epic showdown on Mandalore with the Mandalorian clan? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out which
yeah.
way they go with this because I'm super excited for this
I think
Mando
that's
aspect.
years down the road before we get that major thing. I
It could
think,
be. I mean, it's just something I'm just thinking about, like who's going to be the main
yeah,
antagonist in this and what's going to happen because Gideon ain't wielding this kind of control. Someone much higher and powerful than him in the
yes,
Empire is doing something here. And I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it
I
out there. I think it
agree, but
might
I
be
think I
Thrawn.
think they're gonna save Thrawn for the reveal of Thrawn for
But these
Ahsoka.
shows are all tied in together,
They are, but
and that's
that's
why I'm
why I
thinking
think
they might do that, and then you'll get to
they
how Thrawn gets here at this point from the
they might
Ahsoka
mention. I think
show.
there might be like a mention of eventually, like,
Maybe I don't know. It's just something tidbit that I thought about while I was watching this. Like,
yeah,
why would they make, that was a good line and it made me think like, okay, that's true. Who is this son of a bitch from
hmm
the Empire that's doing all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? So okay, let's get into the
yeah,
other part. I
okay,
mean,
yes,
the other part is the scientist we saw that was the DNA scientist, the big
Pershing.
he does a big speech in front of, in the I love the one thing I loved about this, we saw more of Coruscant than, in a long
Yeah,
time. Different parts of it. I mean, the mountain scene one was amazing that they showed that and that this is the highest point on Coruscant, its actual mountain. You just realize how giant Coruscant is as a city
yeah,
and how it works. And they do a really good job of, and if anybody has never seen Coruscant before, they don't know. And they had these little nuggets through him
hmm
being a new transplant into Coruscant and the New Republic, you know, this is what it looks like when everything's working together, and he makes that statement that he's a little overwhelmed with everything. Of course, he does a speech and there's all the senators.
yeah. All the elites are there, and
It's like, okay. um but he's working some stupid job, trying to be reacclimated. He has a meeting with some of the other guys and meets what's her name, and I don't remember the actress's name, but she was from the previous, you know,
yeah,
um,
shoot,
yeah, she was part of Gideon's crew, which we
hmm
learned she still might be. I don't know who
yep,
she's still part of, but she's still bad. Um, what did you? I didn't feel jarred at all watching this because I think what it's doing is it's showing that there is more to what's going on here. Yeah, you got the stuff going on with the Mandos, and they show that there's two sides of what the Empire is doing here, right? And I think it's important. You have them going after Bo-Katan, one because she's been stealing from them, and she's been a pain in their ass
hmm
since the wars, since everything, right? Even in Rebels, she was Clone Wars and through she's been just up their ass doing stuff, and so them going after her, that's one thing. That's kind of like the military side of it. Like, let's go after militarily, Bo-Katan, and let's start doing some stuff there. The other part of this is the subterfuge, which I really like this because they've got this loose piece from the Imperial Remnant, right? That the scientist that did all this DNA stuff, he's now in the New Republic, and they set this up beautifully of how his story goes. He's trying to acclimate, but he wants to do his work. Tells the story of
hmm
his mother. He has good intentions, and she kind of uses that against him. sets his ass up in both ways. First, she sets his ass up to get caught, and then sets his ass up so she can, DX his ass. So she's up to some shenanigans. So it shows what the Empire's doing, you know, in a spy sense, and then you see the Empire, what's happening with the Empire in a military sense. I got that sense from this, so I didn't feel jarred that there were two storylines, because for me it felt like the Empire's over here doing spy crap and the Empire's over here doing military crap. And that's how it's pulling in both the sides of the New Republic and the Mandalorians into whatever this has turned into. How did you feel about the whole scientist angle with him and everything? I thought it was good. I really liked it. I really liked
Yeah.
the whole process.
What this reminded me of, a show we've discussed amongst ourselves, but we didn't do any kind of reviews, is also, I do agree, it's almost like two shows. It was Mando, and then we kind
The
of
New
went into like
Republic.
an Andor. I almost
Oh
consider this
yeah.
almost like Andor, where we're on Coruscant, and where we forgot about Mando, type of thing, and we're just focusing on his story. It was very more story based, very little action. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked, seeing how she was setting him up, to find out, did he really convert?
Mm-hmm.
See how I brought the title back in, or not? And then, and how she's playing everybody. It's kind of like, we're seeing that, in this kind of halfway house thing, or whatever we call it.
Yeah.
There's still people that are on the Empire side,
Yeah.
and that want to
They're
see
still
the Empire
actively working
go.
for the Empire.
Yeah, she's, and she's a double agent in a sense, where she's playing the role of, I've converted, I'm on your side, the Empire bad, Moff Gideon was the worst person ever. But she set him up.
Big time.
Yeah, and I think she was just waiting to see if he was going to be helping her and helping the Empire again. And as soon as she realized, no, he's on the straight and narrow, then she turned him in.
Yeah, and then I don't know if that's going to kill him, or is that just going to wipe his mind with what they were doing
No,
to him. I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
just gonna wipe his mind, because he knew exactly what was gonna happen. He knew, like, this was gonna
Yeah,
wipe his
this looks like a
mind, and
mind flare kind of thing, and he's like, no,
yeah,
no, 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 it's
no,
not.
no, we're not the Empire. And then I mean, he had to throw in with the Mon Calamari in there, like,
Yeah,
no, it's a
no, it's
trap.
fine. No.
It's a Yeah, but then
Yeah.
person's like, no, she set me up. It's a trap.
Yeah.
And then she plays the role good. No, hey, listen, I thought he was going to be good. Can I stay and watch? Just kind of check over him. Yeah, yeah, And then
Yeah, she
next
did a
thing,
really good job. I mean, I
yeah,
I always got a sense watching her. I didn't trust her, but I didn't know what she was up to, right? My
yeah,
thing was she setting him up to get him out of there back to the Empire kind of thing. That's what I was thinking. She was going to set him up so that they could continue the research for the Empire. I didn't know
that's
she was trying to get to DX his ass, which I
mhm,
was like, oh
yeah.
my,
That whole
okay,
time when they're in the Star Cruiser, whatever the
yeah,
ship,
the Star Destroyer. They were in
the
the Star
destroyer,
Destroyer,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm like, and you hear people comment, I'm like, is that gonna be, like, maybe not Gideon himself, but is that gonna be like somebody that's gonna kind of give him the ultimatum of, either
yeah.
you come back and finish your work, or you're getting turned in, and like, kind of thing, and he's kind
Yeah,
of
that's what
back
I
on
kind of
the
thought too. I thought he was being set up, that they were going to get him the supplies and get him set up and then blackmail him into doing what they needed him to do, or
mhm,
just, which I felt more. At first, I thought she was going to get him out of there, just the way their conversation. But then when she said, we need to get your work, going again and blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
and sets him up that way. So I was like, okay, they're going to set up the work, but make it seem like it's for the New Republic, end quote, but it's really for
mhm,
the Empire. I did not see this coming, because when they got captured, I'm like, and then they show that she's the one that turned him in and stuff. I'm like,
yeah,
what's the angle here? And then I saw the mind flare. I'm like, okay, I guess they're gonna try to convert him. And like, what's her angle here? And then at the end, when they show her dial it up, and then he's basically gonna be, I don't know what he's gonna be. Either he's gonna be completely brainwiped, or he's gonna be a vegetable. I don't know how
yeah.
bad that's gonna be.
And that's what I think is gonna happen. I don't think she killed him or anything like that. I think she just turned up that dial, and he's going to be fried.
Yeah.
He's not going to know. He's not going to remember his stuff.
Yeah, but she sets him up beautifully. And I don't know why, because, I mean, he seems like he's an important. I don't know. I mean, we know what happens in the sequels. I know you can say what you want, but there is genetics and stuff that in cloning that's involved with the. I mean, the Empire,
Yeah.
even through in Bad Batch now, they're big into that. The Emperor was big into that. He really
Mm-hmm.
wanted that to be a thing, but he didn't want it just for the clones. He coveted for himself
So
that information and what it can the power to harness cloning and DNA research and all that stuff. So it's interesting to see where this is going to go, because they did this episode to set up, I think, two things. The Empire's coming back. It's coming back after the Mandos, and it's coming back after the New Republic, or whatever form that's going to take, because we're not too far into the future that maybe we're getting to the beginnings of the First Order. I don't know. I mean, we do know that the Imperial Remnant is still there. Maybe this leads to um, the Imperial Remnant and what it's up to, because I don't know if in the timeline when the Battle of Jakku takes place, if that's happened yet, and maybe this is what that's leading up to, because we know there's a huge battle at the Battle of Jakku. If you played Star Wars Battlefront too, the
mhm.
storyline there, so it'll be interesting to see how that's going to go, right? So I don't know. It's going to be
Yeah,
interesting to see how that plays.
it is.
Um, what would you give this out of? What are we giving this out of?
Black giving dark sabers.
Yeah, out of how many dark sabers you're going to give this one?
I'll be honest with you. I really liked it. I really liked
I thought it was
the
good.
the, the Coruscant stuff. I'm probably going to be higher than I think most people would, and I thought this was still a 4. I
Really,
still
I was going to go about
liked it a lot.
3.5 on it, because it was good, but it wasn't great. I gave the last episode high marks, but
Mhm.
this one was more. It's more set up and stuff, but there's some really great moments in there, and I thought it was really good. But you have to have episodes like this.
Yeah.
Um, and I agree that the first two. I've heard a lot of comments again. Christian Harloff, love him. Said the first two should have been put out together, because those two should have been their own thing, and then we get to this episode. But yeah, I think it's setting up for what's going to happen for the rest of the season. Like, there is this threat out
Mhm.
there. What is this threat, and who is the threat from the Empire? And I think it's going to bring in both the New Republic and the Mandos together. It's going to bring a lot of shit together. I
Yeah.
think that's important,
Yeah.
why we had to see how the
Mhm.
New Republic's offering, that they are struggling, and that there's a lot going on, and that they're dealing with stuff, and that the Mandalorians are getting their shit together, and they're struggling, and they're trying to figure things
Mhm.
out. And now that they know that Mandalore is the planet is, you know, Bible, what does that mean,
Yeah.
right? And is that going to lead to a conflict that's going to lead the Mandalorians and New Republic working together against the Empire? Because that common threat, the enemy of my enemy, right? Kind of
Mhm.
thing. So I'm interested to see where this goes. Episode
Yeah.
4 should be, again, maybe another development episode where we start getting these things. But yeah,
Yeah. And that's what like, all right, the first episode you kind of knew there had to be a little bit of the recap of what's going
yeah,
on and all that. So you kind of knew what was going to happen. Episode 2, I was surprised because I thought it was just going to be a let's follow Mando, do these side missions while he tries to get IG's memory circuit. Um, but I was pleasantly surprised. And then this episode, you kind of knew exactly where this was going to start. Next week, who knows?
let's see what happens. I mean, we
Who
got a
knows?
lot of.
Who knows what's going to happen?
And it's a good time to be a Star Wars show fan. I mean, Bad Batch has been really good lately, and this
Yeah.
has been really, really excellent. I'm really enjoying the Mando series so far. But let us know what you think. Are you liking it? Are
Yes.
you disliking it? How much did you like this episode? What do you think about our thoughts? You're more than welcome to leave comments in the video. And make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this content. We have these reviews, plus we're doing a review for Bad Batch. We also have the lore series going out right now called Star Wars Lore with Idiots. You can check it out on the channel. It has its own playlist. Plus, we have it in podcast form on Podbeam and Amazon, so you can download it and listen to it whenever you want. With this lump of crap over here giving me endless pain and suffering on the lore
Don't know
series.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, just
Don't
listen to the
know
lore
what you're
series.
talking
You'll
about.
know. You'll know.
No, no.
Hit a thumbs up, subscribe, all that crap. And anything else? I think that's it. So thanks
No.
for joining us for another review. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back next week for more reviews for you guys. And so yeah, Spread the word. Tell us what you think about these shows, and let us know what you think about all these episodes of Mando or Bad Batch or whatever ones we're reviewing. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Take care. May the force be with you. Peace out.